Good morning, everybody. Welcome back to Chafin Family Farms, the farming channel where we don't do much farming. Yet. Today we're back in the shop because we got a shiny new toy. What we've got here is the Shop Saber Sidekick 10 with the Hypertherm Power Max 85 sink and the old Oxy acetylene torch, which gives us cutting capabilities up to, well, actually you can go thicker than the 2 inches, but the table itself is rated for a 5 foot by 10 foot by 2 inch thick plate of steel. With that, we're going to be able to build some attachments for the excavators, make some, stump buckets. I want to build a root rake for the D6, and just a bunch of other miscellaneous stuff that we want to build. We'll be able to do it with our wonderful new machine. Now, I've taken the liberty to get everything all set up, getting wires ran. Hold on, boop, there we go, I can see. All right, so I had to feed some cables through the loom and a bunch of zip ties on there to hold everything all purdy-like. That monstrosity over there is temporary, but is it temporary if it works? Time will tell. The airline system is a little bit wonky, and I got a new whip on the way. I can shorten that up, make it a little nicer. And let's see here. All right, yeah, so as you can tell, it's not plugged in. Kind of scared to plug it in. Can be slightly intimidating. But I figured I'd bring y'all with me for the initial startup, fire up, and see if I screw it up. So let's plug it in and see what happens. No smoke yet. That's a plus. I do need to hang this. Take some of the stress off the plugs. Let's get that done real quick. All right, so I've got cable ties, or not cable ties, these are cable ties, or zip ties, or whatever you want to call them. Cable hanger clamp doohickeys, I got them somewhere, don't feel like looking for it, so I'm going to use my good and trusty two zip tie wire hanging method and a screw. So let's figure about where we want that to hang. I like the cord going straight across from the machine to the wall, so we're going to put it somewhere in there. Make a little mark, take the screw. Now with all these I've done, I like to take it all the way up past the threads so that I don't, so it looks nice and even, to be honest. All right, so actually lines up perfect with a pre-existing zip tie, so we'll just, oh, that's a little baby zip tie, we're not using that. We'll just double down. Loop-de-doo this fella around here. And then take this zip tie, run it down through that zip tie. I always put them in backwards. I need to be better about that. Yeah. Yeah, well, zip tie right to it. The head of the screw prevents it from falling off. And boom. Good enough for me. So here you can see my little jungle of cords and everything coming across. I'm trying to keep everything up off the floor as best I can, but it's not exactly easy when half the cords run from that side of the machine. And actually, there's a cross member under there. I was going to zip tie it up, but I forgot. Anyways, I'm going to fire this bad boy up and see what happens. Well, we'll just go for it. So, on. Okay, nothing blew up yet. All right, let's get you under here. I don't even know where the power button is. It's right there. Oh, ha! No wonder nothing bad happened. I'm an idiot. Check it out. Hold on. there's good enough. Wired these in yesterday and turned them off just because. Oh, she came to life. That makes more sense. I thought there'd be a blower fan on it of sorts. Let's turn you around this way. Maybe we can get a better view of everything. Let's try it again. Blue light special. Blinking. What's our monitor saying? There, can you see that? About as good as you're gonna get. Wait, you actually have to turn the monitor on this one? Oh, more blue lights. We got a light up there on the torch head. The next part of the anti-collision system, where if it bumps into a piece of metal that kicked up, it will stop the machine, shut it down, and it's kind of basically save where you are in the cycle that you're running. All right, now, so I was supposed to read some books on this about how to run it and everything, but I don't know. So we'll just click this little shortcut they got on here. So it's Shop Saver Plasma. Okay. Torch touch. Oh, this mouse sucks. Oh, it's beat all to heck. Get a new one. Doesn't have the. Oh, it doesn't even go up like that. All right. Get bigger? No. Come on. Guess I can't make that any bigger. Home. Oh, oh, we got action. I gotta get over here and watch these cables, make sure nothing's kinking funny. Woohoo! I don't know if you can see it, but going up and down these little tines right here, the cross braces. Yeah, you got my little green laser. So we'll get into a little bit more detail about that in a little bit, but that's something that's going to be able to help me set up the metal in the machine much easier and zero it to home to where then I'll be able to, set up where my cuts are. All right, so now it should be going, hitting the limit switches, figuring out where the end of its run is. And yeah, so I think you gotta let it do its cycle thingy on first startup every day. That seems to be moving all right. Well, that moved. Cool. We got a fancy little remote here. How well can you see me? Oh, perfect. So we got this fancy little remote. I just want to play with it. So I'm gonna kick it on. Well, it looks like I've got something on here. All right, let's go with, I want to jog it. And we're in the y-axis. Ooh, it moves. All right, there's got to be a speed it up, slow it down on here somewhere. T/J mode? 1 inch? Ooh. Now the whole point of this is, so when I set my piece of metal in here, say it's like halfway across the table over there, Let's see, we'll get this over here out of the way. All right, so say like the edge of my plate somewhere in this area. Well, I can take my little laser, adjust how much this wants to bounce around and move. See, now I can move it real slow. Bring it over to the X and see if we can bring that over. Now I'll take that laser, line it up on the edge of whatever plate I've got on here, and basically just get the plate set in here. You just flop it on here, square it up to the edge of the table, and then it's, you know, square in relation to the machine and your gantry? I think it's a gantry. Anyways, your gantry that goes across here and it squares everything up and it knows where it is, and then that way when you plug it into the computer system, it doesn't screw up, in theory. Nice, I totally forgot about something. All right, let's set this down for a second. So I don't know if you guys know much about plasma tables. I'm still learning. I've watched a lot of shit on it, but don't mean much of anything yet. Anyways, so what we got, it's a water table, which means there's supposed to be water in here. Got carried away and forgot to fill it with water. Helps cut down on smoke, makes it better, keeps the material cooler, I think maybe. Might help with that. I don't know. Sounds like a good idea. So let's grab a hose. We've got this, I'll just show you in a minute. Plasma defense. All right, so it says here, mix 3-gallon plasma defense to 100 gallons of water. I don't know how big the table is, so we gotta do a little math multiplying. I know it's a 5 by 10. I want that water up about, we'll call it 4 inches. So, crunch a few numbers, get the volume. Let's see here. It'll be 120 times 60 times 4 equals. Okay, so that's cubic inches to gallons. About 124 gallons. We'll call it 125 gallons. Okay, so we'll put like 3 gallons in there. I lied. 3.5, 4 gallons. 4 gallons. Wait, shit. Hold on. How many did I say it was? 3.5, 125 gallons. And we'll just pile in and see what happens. It says max, so if we're a little under, should be okay. Basically, this stuff just helps like prevent, I believe, extra rustiness, because you got water in here sitting in a metal table and it prevents the rust, and I'm sure it's got some other benefits, but come on, you goopy shit. Yeah, I think about it. I figure I best go ahead. And you can't even see shit down there. Oh well. Maybe we'll do this some overlay with some B-roll footage. Yeah. All right, so we go double check, make sure our drain valve is closed. Our drain valve is closed. Let's grab our little clamp. I don't even know why I'm still talking. You can't see shit. Maybe we'll back it up a little bit. Bam. Anyways, gonna grab a little clamp here. That ought to do it. We're just gonna clamp this hose thing in here so it don't go flying everywhere. That ought to hold. That was pointing like it was going to spray straight all over the computer system on the other side of the machine. So let's just turn it a little bit. Change of plans. I think we'll put my coffee here. Dump some of this shit in. I'm going to take my little super restricting nozzle off the hose. Then just stand here and hold it and sip a coffee and watch this stuff fill up. I'll speed it up for you guys because that's going to be boring as hell. But it might look cool. Insert time lapse. Go. Meh, good enough. All right, so while that was filling up, I set the regulator on the air pressure right there. Got that set to where we wanted. I think it was around 115 PSI, but then I started looking through the book for some other stuff, and I realized I forgot a fairly crucial step. See right there, earth ground, ground, no cable. So I think what I'm gonna do is just run the ground cable from here, essentially to the panel, because I want to say it's got two grounding rods outside. Wonderful. Now she's grounded. You can see, well, let's just pop this off here so you can see better. Even got my fancy green tape on it. So what I want to do now is I kind of want to just play with this. I also think it'll do a little bit better job of mixing up our plasma juice. I don't know what you want to call it. Anti-rust crap. Okay, so we're just going to steal the air off of here for now. Ooh, it was loaded. Bring this over here. Now, once I get into actual doing this, I'll just tie another hose into it, run it directly over. Actually, I lied. I'm going to get the whip that goes from here to there, and then this hose will be basically just for this over here, which is part of our aluminum cutting system. They call it a bubbler. Basically what it is when you're cutting aluminum, there was, I believe, hydrogen gases that get caught in the water, and they bubble up to the top, and you can literally hit it with a torch, and it goes whoosh, the light's on fire. But with the bubbler system, it essentially, I guess, aerates the water a little bit and allowing those gases to escape much more easily and just dissipate into the air and don't really become an issue, I don't believe. But we'll find out. So let's kick this on a little bit and see if she bubbles. Ooh. I don't know how much I need to kick this on. But I mean, it looks like I got full flow down each rail. There's like some square tubing, rectangle tubing in here with a bunch of holes in it. But you can see how it kind of just agitates the water up a little bit, and that should allow for those gases to escape. I kind of want to crank this on all the way, but computers and stuff up under the table, so we'll just keep it at a minimum. Well, that's pretty fancy. Okay, let's hook this back end over here. I think we'll be about ready to go cut some metal. 115 PSI. Bubbler valve. Here's that drain valve I was telling you about. It just came with the cap on it, but I just grabbed a 2-inch ball valve and That way I can pull the cap off, put like a garden hose adapter on there or something, and be able to dump our fluids. Okay, let's go find us a piece of metal. I got some little stuff sitting over here we can play with, actually. That's real thin, which means it's cheaper. We'll go with that. I'm gonna wipe it down. Don't want too much dust in this out of the gate. Try to keep it nice as long as I can. Undoubtedly, we'll get our first scratch and dent here soon, and then it's just game on. So let me get that set up, wiped up, put on the table, squared up. We'll see if we can draw something up. All right. I think it's pretty well close enough. Let's jog this machine over and set our laser 0. This button? Oh, wrong way. All right, let's bring this in here a little bit. Oh, wrong way. All right, well, that's about as good as it's gonna get. Let's click laser 0. See how it kicked over an offset? Now that torch is directly above, so if we bring that torch down, wrong way. I mean, it goes right to the dang corner of that. That's pretty fancy. So now I believe it's all saved in the screen here. Now we need to upload a file. Except I don't have any files to upload. To the office. So we can just shut that off, save battery. Bam, magnet. Oi! Damn tripod. You'd think I'd have a pile of files laying around already to test cut something out. Let's get this old girl fired up and draw us up a pretty picture. All right, well, I got a little carried away. Had like multiple drivers to download and install. Obviously haven't been on this computer very much this summer, so I had to update all that stuff. I think I got it where it needs to be. And totally forgot to turn the camera on, but I think here's what we're gonna make. A little sign for the tool room. So let's get this thing unplugged, or let's see, not unplugged, what's the word? Ejected. Safely remove hardware, boom. Beautiful. All right, let's go pop this in the computer out there and see if the file wants to do its thing. I don't know, never done it before. Ow. Okay. All right. So instead of climbing up under there and plugging it into the computer every time, I bought this little bullshit USB extender thing. Let's see if it works. Oh, the light's blinking. Oh, tool room sign DXF. Okay. Move that there, move that over there. I think we have to clear this out. Oh my. Yeah, let's just, no. File. Open? Local disk? CVD? Open? Well, it looks like I got some. Oh wait, it's a enter. And okay. Oh shit. It must have hit the go button. Maybe it was a test run? Well, this is kind of cool. Check this out. So obviously it's going there. Oh, it didn't do the exterior cutout and missed half the T. Seems as if I don't know what I'm doing yet. I guess I should probably do a little more research. I don't know, but how cool is that? All right, well, let me go back to school real quick and we'll go from there. All right, this is the next morning. Did some research, rewatched the videos. I think we're ready to go. You saw my cheat sheet right there. I've got the material loaded and squared. Switched out the consumable. Had to take it to the fine cut one, which is just a smaller tip, I believe. Makes for a narrower kerf so you can cut the more little intricate detail stuff. I think, sounds about right. Anyways, let's get you set up here. We're gonna go ahead and try to run through this. I'm just gonna kind of set you guys up and then focus on what I'm doing. Hopefully I can get it figured out. All right, grab our handy dandy remote because we're gonna need it. Oh, what the heck? G28. You know what? Exit. Open. Home. There we go. I think maybe every time you set it up, you got to go through this or something. Or every time you turn it on. Now, while that's doing that, I need to run back in the shop and grab my flash drive. Well, looks like it's about done. Hopefully I didn't miss anything important. Okay, we'll just go ahead and plug that back in. Boop. Now, let's see if this little feller wants to do something. Override, dry run, laser 0. I'll be back. Gotta go look it up. Don't go nowhere.
We don't file for this, or you don't file from there. The next thing is the G code. You can edit the G code or view the G code, but you won't typically have to use that. The last feature I want to show you on command bar is the eyeball. That's preview. If you want to preview a job before it starts, you click on it, it brings the preview onto the work envelope, and you can see the cut area and the rapid movements. Now, let's go ahead and simulate running the part. So the first thing I want to do is I want to clear any settings that are in there to eliminate any possible confusion. First thing I want to do is I want to go down here to the command bar, enter G92, enter, and you'll notice the crosshairs disappeared. The next thing I want to do is I want to go to the home button. I want to push home. That puts the torch back to the home position. So the next thing I want to do is I'm going to clear all the history. So now that we've cleared all the settings and we've homed the machine, what do we do next? Well, we've got to go ahead and load a sheet. So we're going to go here to the P1 settings, and I've got load sheet there. There's awesome.
All right, he was talking fast. All right, figured it out. Options, clear. It's not even on here. I swear on his it said, clear view. Close enough. Okay, so we've got the load sheet, no, clear history, load sheet, sheet's loaded. Quick home, don't need it. All right, let's do our laser 0. Now, I just think I'm gonna run it over a little bit, make sure it doesn't. Yeah, that lines up real nice. Maybe once I get better at running the machine, I will adjust that to a less, or a more aggressive, less waste kind of lineup. All right, so we got it set where we want. I'm gonna hit laser 0. It offsets, put the laser exactly over, or put the torch tip exactly over where that laser was. All right, so we got laser 0. Let's select our material. Now it's 20 gauge, but I want 20 gauge fine, I believe. I don't see it. Well, what the heck? Oh, FC, mild, 20 gauge. FC must be fine cut. Okay. All right, let's drop our program in there. Where'd that window go? I'm pretty certain I can just drag and drop it into the bar. Drag. Apparently not. I'm gonna go dry run and hit enter. Oh, DXF to G code conversion. Okay. Well, it wasn't supposed to come over to this spot. I must have an axis flipped or something. See, why doesn't it have the border? Ugh, I don't know what the heck I'm doing. So first off, turn on. Did it upside down, and it doesn't have a full cutout border here. And it's supposed to be over here in this quadrant. I don't know. I wonder what rotation does. Well, we still got the file in there. Let's just hit enter again. Whoop. Well, shit, now it's doing the same exact thing. Here, you can zoom in and kind of see this real time. It's kind of cool. Man, I got some figuring to do. I mean, the shit looks cool as hell. I just gotta figure out how to cut some metal. All right, well, I'm about to have to shut it down for the day and go do some other shit around the farm. I think I'm just gonna hit this torch button and see if it, just see what it does. So let's see what it does. Oh, that's not what I want. That should shut off in a second. Why doesn't it shut off? I guess it just thinks for a bit. Wrong button. Let's try this. Well, must be an auto offset thing or something. And let's cancel that. How do I cancel that? Stop. Well, yet another day of failure. Guess maybe I should call their tech support. They got really good tech support from everything I've read and said and seen. All right, let's try. I forgot my goddamn coffee cup. I'm fucking over it. All right, well, 2 days later, maybe 3, a couple different programs, some reprogramming of programs, and I think we might have it. So we're just gonna go for it. I'm gonna put it on here with you guys and maybe we'll get lucky. So, new program. I actually just made it on this program that I'm used to running. Then I had to import it to this program, and then I exported a file, and now we should be able to take this, drag it over here to our thingy. Looks fancy. Let's eject it and go plug it into the computer. Click. All right. The suspense on this has been killing me. I've been trying to get work done during the day out on the farm, and then I'm still trying to do this every morning, and I feel like I'm getting nowhere, running in circles at 100 miles an hour. But maybe we'll get lucky this time. We gotta get the machine zeroed out again, just fired everything up. Well, yeah, so let's see what happens. I have learned though, every time you turn it on, you gotta click home. And of course, I managed to download the wrong file onto this folder, so I gotta go do that again. Ugh. I mean, shows everything on here. Go. Oh, God damn it. Fudge knuckle. Well, we're getting closer. The whole toolpath shows up on here, but now we still got to figure out our Z-axis, which should be going up and down and turn my torch on and off. Take 17 and action. Oh, this is new. Oh, is it about to do some shit? I think it's forgetting to use the torch. What the shit? Damn it! Well, it came up on its own. Son of a bitch. Oh, I'm an idiot. I'm an idiot. This might still work. I have dry run on. Let's run it back. Dry run means it's going to go without firing the torch. G28. Oh, what the hell? It worked. Well, not for very long. I'm just so bound and determined to get this one friggin' part out. Got an idea for something. Let's see if it works. Come on. How freaking cool is that? This is like the only downside of getting up early and working is it's 6 a.m. right now, and I've been going for a couple hours on this morning. Nobody else is up. I can't call tech support for like another 2 or 3 hours, I think. So looks like we're just stuck figuring this out ourselves or go do something else. Probably should edit out another video while I'm waiting on them to wake up. I just gotta keep resetting it. Come on, give me 2 more cuts and then it'll be done. So we can see what it looks like. Oh man. Stupid error. Why? Restart. They always make it look so easy on all the little tutorial videos and all that stuff. It is easy when it works. When it works. But also, it's the first time I've ever been playing with a CNC plasma table, so I've got a lot to learn, and that's okay. We'll figure it out, one step at a time. Well, this should be the final cut for this sign, maybe. See if it works. That's bright. That's bright. You can see the laser beam. Wow. We're done? It's done. Let's see what we've got. Let's see if it's gonna pop right out of there. Ta-da! Maybe it's easier to read over here. It almost looks like full room. All right, let me get this cleaned up real quick and I'll show you where I screwed up. I can already see a bunch of failures in it. Not failures, but just poor programming. Gotta do it a little bit better. Give me a second. All right, so first thing I noticed with this is like, see the little notch in the side of the circle? My, let's see, kerf insert, whatever, where it gets into the cut. I gotta set that up to the inside, not the outside. Same here, here. This one's still shit. And then like this corner angle, I'm not certain. I think these were 2 separate cuts. Yeah, these were 2 separate cuts. Yeah, maybe this was a different cut as well. But where the lines overlapped, it created a gap. So I gotta, next time I do this, I'll have that programmed into it to where this whole word is just one big cutout. I think that might work best for that. Yeah, and then on the back side, there's a little bit of dross and stuff. I could probably clean up my settings, but this is a thin material. I think it's like 20 gauge. It's like 30 thousandths or something. But all in all, I'd say it turned out good. I'm gonna hit it with a little orbital sander here and see if we can get it cleaned up and look a little bit prettier. And there you have it. Is that a fingerprint? I don't know. Well, I think that's good enough for today. Thanks for watching. hopefully next time, no, next time we do this, so next time I run this machine, I want to have it all figured out so that you can get like a full view of like everything that we're doing. And yeah, so, and I really need to quit saying all that stuff. I need to think before I speak instead of thinking while I speak out loud. Thinking out loud while I speak. Anyways, thanks for watching. Come again. Like, subscribe, all that shit. And we'll catch you next time.